Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Knows in his gospel, broad of understanding of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit, going through the particular lines of Adam and Shem, leading all the way down to the Israelites, which the chosen line have always went through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But even preceding Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you had Shem. And preceding Shem, you had the chosen line that went through Seth. Okay, because you have to have, but you have to understand the concept of the sons of God, or the sons of the Most High, or the Adamites, or the chosen sons of God, which in the regeneration or the reincarnation will be indeed the Israelites. So all these men that came through Seth, all the way down to Abraham, all the way down to Shem and his chosen line, the chosen men of that line would have came back as Israelites. Like, for instance, Seth definitely would have came back as a Hebrew Israelite. Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, okay, Lamech, Noah. Indeed, these men would have came through or came back as Israelites, man, because that chosen line. Even Abel, okay, because if you look at the story or the parallels between Jacob and Esau, and then you got Cain and Abel, which is pretty much Jacob and Esau in the reincarnation. But not getting that deep, the chosen line, you got Adam, and then you got Abel, which was killed by Cain. Then on the left-hand side, and it's even spiritual how they have it, because it says here, Cain, Enoch, which is the left-hand side, it says Cain, Enoch, Arad, Mahojiel, Methusiel, and Lamech. Okay, it says the unrighteous line. And then you got the righteous line, which is on the right-hand side, which is Seth, Enoch, Kenan, Mahalalel, which that's the spirit. That's actually my name in Hebrew. That's the spirit. It says Jared, Enoch, which he walked with the Most High, then Methuselah, which is the longest man that ever lived, Lamech, then Noah. Okay, the righteous line. Then you notice how it breaks off, and it goes down to a line of Japheth, and then you had Ham, Shem, and Japheth, which are Noah's three sons. So the unrighteous line, which is Ham, okay, which is Israel's enemies, okay, they never really went into Japheth too much, because if you really little history, Japheth didn't really have a significant role in oppressing Jake, though there was skirmishes and bits run in with our people. But overall, Ham and Esau have been more of a burden to us than Japheth ever have been. That's why when you read in the end time prophecies, Japheth is not really mentioned, though Esau, Edom, and these other Israelite groups out here tried to say that the so-called white man is Japheth, but that's not even nowhere near true. Okay, and it tells you even here that it makes sense. It says the unrighteous line, which is Israel's enemies, the Hamites. Okay, which you got Cush, you got Mizraim. Okay, you got what's his other guy name? You got the Cushites, you got the Canaanites, you got Mizraim, and then you got Put, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, which is the unrighteous line. And then from here you got Shelah, Eber, okay, which Eber goes into the Hebrew word Ibar, okay, which means of the past or ancient. Then you got Peleg, then you got Ru, you got Serug, then you got Nahor, and Terah, then Abraham, all the way down to Israel, and then Yahweh Shai. Okay, notice it has walked with the Most High, because Abraham walked with the Lord. Okay, so this is the righteous line, which is Genesis the 11th chapter, which is the righteous. Okay, so that's just a visual way of breaking that down. And it's cold-blooded how they got it, man, because, you know, oftentimes people, they don't seem to connect the dots. But when you look at the timeline and you look at the way that these nations are set up, you can clearly see who's who. Okay, now when it goes from Abraham, well, it goes to Shem, okay, or through Noah, three sons, and this is the genealogy of Shem, because the chosen lineage came through the loins of Shem, through Abraham, okay, through Noah, damn, my bad, through Noah. Then you got Noah's three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and on down the line. These are the 5 Hebrew families here: Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. Okay, and out of Elam, you got the East Indians. Okay, you got Gether, you got Uz. Okay, you got Arphaxad, you got Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Rul, Nahor, and Terah, which Terah is the father of Abraham. Okay. And out of Eber, you got Jodokan, which these are his sons on this side. But then you got Nahor, you got Abraham, and you got Haran, and you got Lot. Okay, even though Lot was Abraham's nephew, you still had the chosen line that came through Abraham, then Isaac, then Jacob. You got Esau, which is the Edomites, but then you got Jacob, which are the Israelites. Okay, and that's the chosen line. You see what I'm saying? So when you go into the Hebrews or the Shemitic Hebrews or the Shemitic, those are the particular Hebrew families that Moab, Ammon, okay, Ishmael, Jake, Esau, they come out of these particular men here. Okay, because believe it or not, Esau Edom is a Hebrew. You know why? Because he comes out of the line of Shem. Okay, and he's still the grandson of Abraham. Okay, because we got the same four parents, but the Most High created a division among the nations. And Esau wasn't given the birthright. Okay, he was supplanted. Just a little history right there. You know, in case Jake want to get stupid, because these fucking Christians, man, they come with all types of madness and all types of false doctrine and rhetoric, which they can't back up any of their talking points. It's just ideology based on emotion and simpism, even if that's a word. So I just got a couple of precepts here. 2 Chronicles 33:7. It says here, and he set a carved image, the idol which he made, in the house of Yahweh, which the Most High has said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Okay, so there you go. Jerusalem is the Lord's chosen city, which is the city of peace, which in the Hebrew is Jerusalem. Okay, the Lord have a favorite river, he have a favorite lily, he have a favorite people. Okay, the Lord has favorites too, just like we are able to choose what we like and what we don't like. Why can't the Most High himself do so? All right, Psalm 78:31, it says, the wrath of the Most High, Salaki, not that one. Psalms 135:4, it says, for the Lord have chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure. Okay, there's no getting around these things. And people say, well, that's the Old Testament. We just read here that the Most High, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. And forever means forever. Not a long dispensation of time, but it means forever. All right. Isaiah 41:8. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Okay, now we go back into the table of nations. Once again, you know, you got to break this thing down for Jake. You know, you got to chew the full form, because Jake gets simple. Okay, it goes into the genealogy of Abraham. Okay, then you got Abraham, and then of course you had Sarah, which is his wife, and then you had Hagar, and then you had Keturah, okay, the concubines, and then you had Sarah, the wife, okay, which you had the free woman and the bondservant. Then you got Hagar, which bore Ishmael, which is the Ishmaelites, which these are the sons of Ishmael. Nobadiah, Kedar, Abil, Dumah, Mishma, Misabam, Massa, Hadad, Tamar, Kedamar, Napash, and Jator. So Ishmael had, Ishmael had 12 sons too. 4:8 he had 12 sons. Jacob had 12 sons as well, but the chosen line being of our people of Israelites, man. Okay, then you had Keturah all the way down to, what is this? Keturah, then you had Shua, but Abraham, Sarah, then Isaac, then Rebekah. Rebekah birthed Jacob and Esau, and of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. And we know that the chosen line through the line of Israel, Yahweh Shai, come through the line of Judah, okay, which is the top tribe in Israel. You see what I'm saying? So knowing how to put these things into particular, into order, or you know how to put them in their respective lots, you can start to see the picture. Okay, Isaiah 44:1, it says, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant. Why did the Most High consider Jacob his servant? Because this is chosen. And Israel, whom I have chosen. Okay, that's the point. Acts 9:5, it says, but the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. Okay, now the Gentiles, those are the Israelites, man. Okay, because oftentimes the Christians, they teach that the Gentiles are the other nations, but Israel was dispersed among all the other nations, man. Easy concept to understand. And the whole key to that is understanding in between the testaments. What happened during the time of the split? Okay, what happened during the time of the Greeks? What happened when we was under the Seleucid dynasty? Okay, under the Ptolemies. See, the reason why Jake get thrown off is because they don't understand that history during the time of the Hellenization period. And this is why they try to discredit the Apocrypha. But even the Holy Bible, if you get a King James Study Bible, it gives credit to the Apocrypha and how the Hellenization period indeed took place, and how Jake became Hellenized, man. So they're knowing, the scholars are knowing that the Gentiles of the New Testament are actually Israelites, man. It's an easy concept to understand. So anybody that's coming against it is because you're just doing the bidding of Satan, okay, deliberately. You see? So this is 2 Ezra 6, and I'm gonna start at 54. It says, and after these things, and it's like a billion scriptures on chosen on this. I mean, we get scriptures for days, but just a couple of basic ones. 2 Ezra 6 and 54. But after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all. Okay, everybody come from Adam, as we just showed the table of nations, and people also whom thou hast chosen. Okay, so that's a distinction. For all thy creatures, of him come we all. Okay, we all come from him, every last one of us, man, because Adam was Yahushai. Okay, the first Adam being flesh and the last Adam being Yahushai, made a quickening spirit. It says, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes. That's a possessive pronoun. It says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them to the drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But why be the people whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover are given into thy hands, which prove that the Israelites, and this lines up with Bible perfect. This lines up with the canonical text, man. Because if the Apocrypha was such of a lie, they would have kept it in there, but they didn't, because it tells the truth. And this pretty much bridged the gap of what happened during the Hellenization period. This is why they took the Apocrypha out. Okay, they took it out because it tells you how Jake was Hellenized. Just read the first books of Maccabees, man. First and second Maccabees, and I believe you have a third one if I'm not mistaken. It says, it says, if the world be now made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long should this endure? And this is an actual question, because he was like, wait a minute, if we're the chosen people, why we're catching so much hell and these heathens seem to get away with murder? But everything is happening for an appointed time. Because you have to understand that in order for us to become gods, we had to know the wickedness too. Okay, power knows both sides, man. All right. So this is the book of Second Ezra 2. And do I want this? This whole chapter is good, but there's one in particular I'm looking for. Yeah, Second Ezra 2. Oh, shit, I lost it. Hold up. Oh, okay, Second Ezra 3. And 36, yep, this is the book of Second Ezra 3. And I'm going to start at verses 28. It says, in their deeds than any better that inhabit Babylon, that they should therefore have dominion over Zion. Who is Zion? Israel. Okay. It says, for when I came thither and had seen the iniquities without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in the 30th year, that my heart failed me. It says, for I have now seen that thou sufferest them sinning, and hast sparked wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, says thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, which shows you we have enemies, and has not signified it. But I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenant as Jacob? See, the covenant, man. And yet their reward appeared not, and their labor have no fruit. For I've gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name be nowhere be found but in Israel, man. Or when was it that which would dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. So Ezra is basically complaining about, wait, we're the chosen people. Yeah, we went off, but why it seems that when we are doing the right thing, it merits anything but the heathens, they can break the commandments and still continue to be blessed for their wickedness. Okay, so it's self-explanatory, man. It's not that fucking hard to understand. Excuse my French, but I'm gonna end it there. Giving all praises and glory and honor due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, shalom and a Bible ball. Shalom.